Hello lovelies, welcome to today's video. So I've actually got a pretty quick mixed media background layout for you today. Honestly, I struggled with this layout. I didn't like it when I originally finished it. You'll see at the end there'll be two separate photos of the layout, the completed layout. When I first finished it, I didn't like it. It just didn't feel right. And so I asked my husband's advice and I added a bit more color to it. Turns out I added the wrong color by accident, but in the end I really liked the result. So I'll show you where I started. So I've just got some cardstock and I have sprayed some water because when applying a wet color of some kind, like watercolor or ink, it's always best to do it wet on wet. So I've spritzed my background with a bit of plain water and then I am adding my color. Now, with spray inks on a layout, I don't like to spray them because you can't control it. They go everywhere and I tend to get a lot of overspray and I don't like it. So I tend to use them like watercolors. I'll dab them on the page or I'll put them on a palette and use a paintbrush. Some way that I can just control it a bit better. So that's exactly what I've done. I've got my paintbrush and then I've added some water just to move it around a bit. And as I was doing this, I really liked the effect that I was getting just by plopping the colour and watching it just bloom out. So I wanted to add a few of those as well, just because I wanted different depths in my background ink. So by doing that and not moving it around too much, you can see I've got different shades, even though I've used the same colour to start with. And this is Colour Blast in Lagoon. And yeah, I really like the different depths and texture you can get just from you know, letting it pool in a few areas and drying it and spreading it in a few others. So originally I picked this color because it went with my nephew's bib in the photo. Now, I love this photo. It's been sitting on my desk, but unfortunately it was sitting on my desk when I was doing some paint splatters and it got splattered with gesso. I can't get it off. But I love this picture and I really wanted to scrap it. So I'll probably just replace the picture later at another time. But for today's purpose, you get to see my lovely little nephew and that gorgeous smile of his. So once I've put my color down and I've dried it off, I wanted to add something else in the background. So I've decided to do some stenciling with a coloured ink. Now usually I use paint, very rarely do I use ink, but I'm trying to use new techniques and new tools and new media this year. I'm trying to just branch out a bit. So I've got my fabulous little makeup brush. I love this brush. I don't use makeup brushes, very rarely do I wear makeup. I bought this purely as an ink blender. I'm in love. I want the bigger version of it now, so I'm going to have to track down some of these makeup brushes. But I love it. It makes a fantastic ink blender. I love it. I have literally used this same one a few times now with very different colors. I just wipe it on a baby wipe when I'm done and it's been working great for me. I absolutely love it, man. So I've decided to use some distress ink in what color? I ended up using peacock feathers because I wanted to go tone on tone and I wanted it to match the color in the background. Took me a few goes because only today did I find the rest of my distress inks. I cleaned up a bit today. I was in a mood to clean and I cleaned up my art room and I sorted out my shelves a bit and I found a tub that had the rest of my distress inks in it. I thought I had them all stacked on a shelf. No, turns out I only had half out. So, and they're all my favourite colours too, like Twisted Citron, Salty Ocean, all the good colours. So I got peacock feathers and that is what I have used in the background, just to give me some texture and just a bit more interest in the background. So while I was cleaning up my art room, I found some old kits that I hadn't used yet, and this was some bits and pieces from an old Kitaholics kit. I was actually going through my Colour Blast kits and sorting them out a bit better, and yeah, I found this old kit that I think it was when we were moving, not this time, just gone, the one before, and I'd kept it separate so I could still use it, and it's just been sitting on a shelf that I didn't realise was there. And in it was a lot of the Coco Vanilla Boys Rule collection, and that is what the collection's called, isn't it? I'm sure that's what it's called. Let me check. Yep, Boys Rule, Coco Vanilla. Now, as you know, I love all the boy collections that I can get my hands on. Coco Vanilla especially are some of my favourites. And I'd sort of hoarded this kit because I love the Coco Vanilla so much. and I love this collection so much. I really have to stop doing that. I really need to use these things more and stop hoarding them for the perfect layout or the perfect picture, because, you know, you'll never get it done if you do that. In saying that, the past few times I have scrapped a picture of my gorgeous nephew, I haven't liked it. So, yeah, I've really got to work that one out. But anyway, so, yeah, I found almost an entire set of the Boys Rule collection. So I thought I'd use it because the colours really suited what I was going for with this picture. Unfortunately, you can't see what I do down the bottom, which is probably the part of this layout that I like the most. I really struggled with this layout, putting it together. I ummed and ahed, I moved things so much it wasn't funny. Yeah, I struggled. I've cut out a lot of that because, yeah, there was some really bad mess ups. But for the most part, I've used a piece from the cut apart strip that says Eat, Sleep, Be Rad, Repeat, and I've put that underneath my photo, as you can see there. And I've also used one of the clear stickers. I just really like that little loopy pattern, and I've put that under. I've sort of turned that into a little cluster, and then I've added some of the clear stickers and some of the chipboard stickers and a few of the enamel dots around that, just to make a cluster. I did realize that all of this was right side heavy when I was done, which is why when you see the original picture, it looks really, really weird having almost no color on the left side. I think that's why I didn't like it so much. I could tell it was just too heavy on one side, especially with all my embellishing being on the right. So unfortunately, I didn't film that part because, you know, when you're not happy with the layout, so you just sort of keep adding to it and you're not even sure if you're going to like it when it's done. Well, that's what I figured was going to happen. I thought, if I ruin it, oh well, I'll re-scrap the picture. And I'd already done my video, but in the end I actually really liked it. So I added some colour to the left. Like I said, I added the wrong colour. I accidentally added some Caribbean instead of the lagoon. But I love the way it turns out, because having the two different tones of blue really helped the layout, I think. Have a look at the pictures and let me know what you think. I think it's what made all the difference. It didn't look so flat and two-dimensional once I was done. So like I said, I struggled putting all my bits and pieces down. In the end, yeah, I don't mind it now. The first picture you're going to see is when I first finished it, when I didn't like it. It's just something wasn't right. And then the second picture you'll see, as you can see, it's very empty on the left. And then this is what I did. By accident, I used the wrong colour, but I think it really does something for the layout. So in the end, I don't mind it at all. Like I said, like I always say, it's another picture in the album. It's another memory scrapped. So I can't hate it too much. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will be back on Sunday with another video. I have a blog post going up on the Colour Blast blog, and I did a video to go with it. So that'll be exciting. Another new video on Sunday. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.